Dear students, welcome to Infinity Pi Technologies. Today we are going to learn about an interesting chapter, that is decimal fraction, from class 6 mathematics ICSE curriculum. We are going to learn the basic concepts like what is decimal fraction, what is decimal point, like and unlike decimal numbers, then conversion of a given fraction into decimal fraction and conversion of a given decimal fraction into non-decimal fraction. So, without wasting any more time, let's start this exciting journey. Decimal fraction, a fraction whose denominator is 10 or higher power of 10 is called decimal fraction. So, let us understand what is a fraction. So, any number, if we can represent it as a by b, then this is a fraction. So, in a fraction, a is called numerator and b is called denominator. So, as per the definition, if the denominator of a fraction is 10 or higher power of 10, what do we mean by this? So, denominator either be 10 or higher power of 10 means 10 square, it means 10 into 10, that is 100, or maybe 10 cube, it is 10 into 10 into 10, that is 1000, or 10 to the power 4. Likewise, we can write any power of 10 as a denominator. Then, given an example, if I will write a fraction like 7 by 10, what is the denominator of this fraction? The denominator is 10, then we can call this as a decimal fraction. If suppose I will write a fraction like 8 by 100, so we know that 100 is 10 to the power 2. So, the denominator is power of 10. It means it is a decimal fraction. Likewise, any fraction whose denominator is higher power of 10 or 10 is called a decimal fraction. Now, let us understand what is decimal point. For any decimal fraction, we can replace the denominator by putting a small dot, that is called decimal point. Let us understand how we are putting. For example, 7 by 10 is a decimal fraction. So, we can write 7 by 10 as 0.7. This dot is called as decimal point. Likewise, if the fraction is 24 by 100, then we can write is 0.24. So, this dot is decimal point. So, how we are determining how to write or where to put this decimal point? A decimal fraction is 7 by 10. Then it means in the denominator only one zero is there. If it is only one zero is present, then you have to calculate the digits from the right hand side. As it is only one digit and the denominator has only one zero, then you put a dot just after one digit from the right hand side. So, I am putting here the 0.7. Let us understand it more clearly from the next example. How many zeros are there in the denominator? There are 2 zeros in the denominator. Then from the right, I need to calculate the digits and I need to put the dot just as much as the zeros present in the denominator. As here 2 zeros are there, so I need to count 2 digits from the right. So, 1 and 2, then I am putting the dot here. So, you can see 0.24. So, let us understand how to write. For example, if suppose a decimal fraction is 3159 divided by 1000. So, how I can write putting the decimal point? I can see there are 3 zeros are present in the denominator. So, as per the rule, I have to count the digits from the right side. So, if I count the digits, this is the first digit, this is the second digit, this is the third digit. So, I have to count only 3 digits because there are 3 zeros present in the denominator. So, I need to put the dot in between 3 and 1. So, I need to put 3.159. Now, let us understand what is integral part and decimal part. For example, 3.1. Here, 3.1 means I can say 3 is the integral part and 1 is the decimal part. So, any number before the dot is called integral part and any number after the dot is called decimal part. Actually, if I want to write 3.1, I can write it as 3.0 plus 0.1. So obviously 3.0 means this is integral part and this is a decimal part. Likewise, let us consider another example, 3.462. So which one is the integral part and which one is the decimal part? So as we know, any number before the dot, it means 3 is before this dot. So this 3 is integral part, and any number after this dot, it means this dot 462, 0.462, it is the decimal part. Now let us understand how to find the number of decimal places. So the number of digits in the decimal part of a number is the number of decimal places in it. For example, 4.83. So how many digits are present after this dot? So we can see after this dot 2 digits are there. It means in the decimal part of this fraction 2 digits are there. So we can say 4.83 has 2 decimal places. Now let us understand what is like and unlike decimal numbers. For the given decimal numbers are said to be like decimal numbers if they have the same number of decimal places. Otherwise, we call this as unlike decimal number. Let's understand this with an example. Suppose we can say 5.7 and comparing with 0.8 or for example 329.2. So in these three numbers we can say that 5.7 has only one digit in the decimal places. Here also only one digit in the decimal places. Here also only one digit in the decimal places. So as they have only one digit in the decimal places, we can call all these numbers as like decimal numbers. Let us understand from another example. 26.03 is a number, then 8.87 is also a number, then 0.52 is a number. So how many decimal places are there for this number? There are 2 decimal places. How many decimal places are there? 2, and here also 2 decimal places. As all the decimal places are same for all these numbers, we can call all these numbers are like decimal numbers. An example of unlike decimal numbers. So unlike decimal numbers means the decimal places are different for the decimal numbers. For example, one decimal number as 2.6, another decimal number is 40.32, another decimal number is 0.009. So if you see, the decimal places for this number is 1 and the decimal places for this number is 2 and the decimal places for this number is 3. So there are 3 different decimal places are there for all these decimal numbers. So we call this as unlike decimal numbers.